Fidemaster John Curtis here. Wishing you all a very, very Merry Christmas. I'd like to thank my good friend in Hong Kong for the wonderful Christmas present put into my PayPal account. He's one of my fans and he loves to, one of my friends and my fans, and he loves to watch my YouTube streams. Here we go. I'll dedicate this stream to you. Here we go. We're going to look at the first game we're going to look at is the an Endgame. I'd like to show you how we can convert basically a drawn game, a drawn middle game, into a winning endgame. Right? Now, with a little bit of help from my opponent, but I'm going to go through the logical processes, the thought processes that go into converting a middle endgame into an endgame, and then getting a win out of it, right? And for this purpose, we're playing the Sword of God. He's from Canada. All these games I'm going to show you today, they're all played this morning. I was playing pretty well. I was playing between about 80-something% accuracy and over 90% accuracy. So as high as about 93-94% accuracy. So here we go. I'm just going to show you the game. He played d4. He opened up with d4. Played knight f6. And as I say to people in these types of openings, what I usually do is try to go for the black squares. My opponent invariably will go for the white ones. So that's a book move, knight to f3, d6. Notice I'm already putting pawns and pieces on black squares. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, I think it is. 11 of my 16 pieces are all on black squares already. E3, G6. Oh, that's to put my bishop on black square on G7. Obviously, the fair and shadowed system here, though the pawns are on white squares, the whole purpose is to have the pawns on a different colour square from the bishop. Right, castles. Castles, black. I played knight to d7. I was happy about that. I thought this is a chance to possibly strike in the centre if I could. But I just developed a piece instead. But c5 was the correct move, right? b6. I've got to remember all these decisions are made fairly rapidly. I've only got 2 minutes and 52 seconds for the whole game. I played e5, and it looks like he can just take a pawn or just play bishop to b2. He elected to take a pawn. Here I don't take the pawn straight away. I try to activate my pieces as much as possible and try to control these black squares. So I played knight to g5. Now, already I'm threatening knight takes pawn, knight takes knight check, and winning the castle in the corner, right? So already we've got a dynamic game. So the position's at least, or would say it's equal. The bar on the board says it's equal position. He plays h3 and we take the knight. Now we're threatening knight takes knight check, wins the castle in the corner. Well, he played knight to d4 and I thought, gee, that doesn't look too correct, but how can I take advantage of him? I couldn't see a way to do it. So, but I did. I took his knight. He took back, and I played knight there. Well, he played knight to f3, and I thought, whoa, I don't like that move. I can play knight takes pawn. I can, but fraught with danger. So I played bishop to f5. I didn't know what else to do. But knight e7 was the correct move. Now white's got an advantage. Anyway, he played c3. I thought, gee, that's a weak move. It doesn't do anything. Gives me time to get my pieces working. So I played, I should play queen to d7, but I played d5, right? And Engine says it's an inaccuracy because I should have lifted my queen up and connected my castles. The Engine's very, very big on that, so it's a very important thing to do. Now, it's in this, at this stage, you play bishop d3. Now, when my opponent plays this move, right, and I want to go through this slowly with you, this position here is where it all starts. This is where the game starts. From my perspective, as far as trying to win is concerned. What I noticed straight away is when I've got a bad bishop on f5. See, my bishop didn't have much scope. It couldn't go here because he'd take it off. And if it went back there, well, it'd be just a cramped old bishop. So I would love to be able to take anything off with my bishop, and he helped me. He played bishop there. So I took the bishop off, which is the star move, best move. And when he takes back with the queen, now I'm already, even after, before I took the bishop, I was already looking at the pawn structure. And pawn structure is very important in chess. Pawns are the soul of the game. And in that respect, I need to put all my pawns on white squares, just so a bit like this bishop can move freely around the pawn. You don't want your pawns on the same colour as your bishop. But to actually, I knew that in this position, to try to win, ideally I'd have to A, try to swap knights somehow, B, try to occupy the open E file, right, if I want to win. Otherwise, this is a very drawish position. And the bar on the side of the board, it's even favourable for white. So I played queen d7, move 1, right, so we connect the rooks. He played bishop f4, and I thought, well, that looks like a good move. And I played rook e8, rook e8. So my first plan is to control the centre, right? And he played rook e1, star move, best move. So white's got an advantage here. The only way I can get an advantage is by controlling the e file, or he makes a mistake, right? Now, the one thing he has got is he's got a bishop on f4 that is not controlling enough. Let me, if I can put it that way. I played a6. This is a very important move, I thought, to stop queen to b5, putting pressure on my pawn structure, that one and that one, right? So, and the engine gives me a star for that move. Notice I'm also putting the pawn on a white square. Now, if my pawns are all on white squares, and say, for instance, the knights are exchanged and he's tempted enough to play knight to e5, well, then my bishop becomes good. Now, he pushed pawns on the queen side. Now, they can turn into weaknesses if you push the pawns all the time. Anyway, I played h6 because I wasn't sure what to do. I should have played, what? Yeah, f6, apparently. The engine doesn't like the knight coming in, right? But he played the knight in anyway. I thought, great, well, I'll take it. Because now he's allowed me to achieve all my goals, right? All my goals are to control the e file, right? Remember that? To keep the good bishop against the bad bishop. Well, I'm going to try to do that in the next few moves. Anyway, and basically try to win the rook and the bishop and pawn ending if the castles come off, because his pawns are on the wrong colour squares, right? His bishop can't go there, can't go there, can't go there, right? So his bishop is not a great bishop. He took with the bishop, and I thought, well, great, I'll push the pawn and chase the bishop away. And the engine says, this is good. You kick the opposing bishop with a pawn, forcing it away. He moved his bishop back, and then I played king here. Well, I went the wrong way. I was a bit concerned about bringing my king towards the middle of the board. I thought, oh, he might be able to open me up to get a check, but it is the correct move. But the idea was the same. I want to maintain this pawn on here, and at the same time improve my game somehow. Anyway, he played rook there. Position's equal. I played c6, right? Engine says H5. I didn't like that move. But I've now got all my pawns on the right colour, right? Except for two of them, right? So I'm just following my plan. That's all I'm doing. It's just a general endgame plan that most of the endgames you'll win if you follow this plan. Okay, so that's part of the lesson. Anyway, he played queen to d3. I played rook takes rook. And then I thought, well, if I want to win this endgame with the bishop, my bishop, against his bishop, with his bad pawns and my good pawns, I thought, well, I've got to change the pieces off. Anyway, he played queen back. He wanted me to take his rook so that he can get the queen on the open file. But as it is, I didn't care. Rook e3 was better. I played king back. Engine says I should play h5 again. Engine loves this h5. Anyway, he played pawn there, but you know what he's done? Do you know what he's actually done? He's actually allowed the pawns to all be targets on black squares, right? But how do you take advantage of that? Well, I'll show you as best as I can. I've got 1 minute and 15 seconds. He's got 1 minute and 31. I took the rook. He took with the queen. I played the king forwards to the correct square. Remember the engine earlier told me to go there? Well, I didn't know that time, but I knew instinctively it's time to get my king to a central square, try to trade queens. He played pawn there, so I thought I don't want to trade too early, but I want to trade in an advantageous position. So I thought I would try this move. And the engine here gives me a star for it. My plan is basically I'd like to change queens on that square, right? But obviously I need h5 first to do that. Anyway, he should push the pawn on my queen, right? So now I just played queen here. Not the best move, but I like it. And now he played king there. Well, he should play queen to f2. So I push my pawn forwards, and the engine says, no, Johnny, no, you're supposed to play h5. Gee, the engine really loves this h5 move. And that move in itself is also part of my plan, to put the pawns on white squares. So he played queen here, and here I played king e6, right? Now, there's a reason for that. The point is, if he takes my queen, I can take back with this pawn, and this is precisely what happened. He took the queen, bad move, because now I take with a pawn. Now, can you see what I'm doing here? He can't play the pawn here to stop my king coming in because the bishop takes pawn check, right? Which means that his bishop's bad. It's like a pawn at the moment. See that? It's all blocked. That's because the pawns are on the wrong colour. I've been talking about that for the last 15 minutes. Here we go. He played king there, so I played king here, right? The engine says, no, it's not the right move, but I like it, right? Because I believe I've got to get my king to an active position. Engine said bishop f6 was better. Anyway, he played bishop there, and I thought, great, his bishop looks like a real pawn now, doesn't it? So I thought, well, I'll just go in there and threaten the pawn. So I'm threatening king takes pawn. So what does he do? Well, he moves back. Now, in this position, I still have to prove the win. I've got to actually prove it. So I played bishop here. Apparently it's not the right move. Engine's saying that pawn here was stronger. Anyway, he played pawn there, and I thought, okay, I'll push the pawn. I thought, I really need to try to exchange something here. And he played bishop there, and I thought, oh no. So I knew what I had to do. I had to get a pass pawn. Engine says double question mark and the position's equal. So have I blundered the game? Well, we'll soon find out. He pushed past. He should take the pawn. Okay, so now when I push my pawn, I'm always threatening to take this pawn at some stage and then push a pawn for a queen if he can't stop it. At the moment, his bishop's doing a good job. His bishop looks like a pawn. So if you took this bishop off the board and put a pawn there, it would look just like a pawn, wouldn't it? Right? So it doesn't look like a good piece. Right, so he moved his bishop back because he didn't know what to do. So I played bishop there. Apparently c5 is the best move. All right, I'll show you why. If pawn here, right, he can't take with the pawn because the bishop takes pawn check and black wins, right? And if he takes with this pawn, we can play bishop to d1 and bishop takes a pawn, h pawn, a pawn, and then we win, right? Okay, can you see that now? So in this position, if I play pawn here like the engine says, pawn takes pawn, and then we just play bishop here and capture that and we win the game, right? So that is the whole idea of the engine's move. But I've got something similar. I played bishop here. It's a bit slower, but you play bishop there. So I push the pawn there, and the engine says, "Good move, Johnny. Good move." Star move. It takes. I recaptured, and then he played king there. Well, now I can play this move, and the whole idea is finally I want to get my bishop a double attack on the c pawn, which he can't defend. Takes, and now bishop takes. Now he can't defend that pawn. It's impossible to defend twice. So he gets desperate. He pushes a pawn. And we just take it off with a pawn. And now he moves his bishop. And now we just take that. He went back. We gave him a check. Another check. He's on the back rank. Play bishop here. And that's to push the pawn forwards. The E pawn, right? We want to push this pawn straight through. And he played bishop there, so we push the pawn, we follow our plan, which is to put him in a checkmating net, and you'll see that in a second. He played bishop there, because his bishop can't attack anything, remember, because his pawns are on the wrong colour squares, like we said 20 moves ago. Anyway, so I played bishop there, and now I'm just threatening a check and a checkmate, and he can't stop it. So he played bishop there. He says, all right, we'll swap bishops. And I said, no, we'll give him a check. And he went there, and that's checkmate. There we go, and that was the end of the game. So that was sort of God. So I'm going to now move to some other games which I've put in the chess engine earlier, and we'll have a look at those. I've got a game here. I actually lost this game on time. But I think this is a pretty instructive sort of game. So I'm going to show you this game, even though I lost it on the clock. But I didn't have a lost game. I actually played it about 86% accuracy, right, as we'll see in the game. Right, so I played e4, played d5, captured, captures, and knight c3. This is the Scandinavian defence. The Mises Kotrick variation, queen to d6. Now, this guy, Ego 210, he's from Slovenia. And he played me a match this morning, and 3 of the games I think I lost on time, including this one. But I started to up my game and play at a higher level. Now, Ego's rated 2,226, and at the time I was rated 2,123. I took a beating or two from some of my subscribers yesterday when we were having fun, and I don't mind taking a beating. I can always get my rating points back, can't I? Knight f3, and now knight c6. I thought this presents myself with a great opportunity, and I thought, well, if I could push the pawn on that knight and chase it away, that'd be good. So I played bishop there first, just to pin the knight, because I knew that he wanted to pin my knight. He'd been doing this for some time, so I thought well, I've got to come up with a plan. Right? So he plays bishop there. Now he's got a plan that if I don't do anything dangerous, he will just castle and control, and when he castles, he will control the d4 square and get an easy game. That's his plan, right? Rapid development, hope that I don't play accurately, And but he doesn't know me. He doesn't know that one of the things that I am very good at is finding holes in positions or missed tempi and stuff like that. Tempo of the game is very important. I'll show you that. I castled, right? I castled before I initiated my plan. I had a plan, but I thought my plan's far more effective if I castled first. Now, he played h5 this time. Now, previously, he had castled, and he got into a bad position. So he thought, well, last time he castled, and I took his knight and played knight to e5, and he was thrown out, right? He didn't know what to do. So you guess what I did? I played h3, I chased his bishop away. Now he castled, right? Now he thought that in the exchange Lopez, there's a variation where you capture on c3, but I haven't done that yet. And you have the bishop here, and the queen goes to f6, and if you take the bishop here, the pawn recaptures, and the queen can come over here and deliver checkmate down there. So that's it. That's what he was thinking. But he forgot he's playing me. So I took his knight, and this might have thrown him off a little bit. He thought, what's he doing? Anyway, he took with the queen, and then I played pawn takes bishop, right? Now, I could have also have played knight to e5, right? In this position, I played pawn takes bishop, right? But I could also have played knight here, right? But I decided on pawn takes bishop. Because I thought, this is free. He took with the pawn, and then I played knight here. And the whole idea is if he comes over here, right, I simply play queen takes pawn check, right? So if he goes over there, I just simply play queen takes pawn check. Say he plays e6, I just play queen here, and he's forced to change queens because he can't move his queen or he'll lose his rook, right? Okay, so it's very, very simple chess, right? So that's my plan. So I just played knight take there, and now he played queen here. So I thought, well, okay, I might as well grab a pawn with check. Right, the same principle applies that if he ever plays queen here, I can just play queen here, and he can't move his queen because he'll lose his rook, right? Okay, so that's my plan. And now he's in check. Now if his king moves here, I can actually play knight check, right? And then he's got attacks his queen, so he'd have to take with the rook, and my queen would take. And again, if he played queen to h3, I can play queen to h3, right? Okay, so I gave him the check. So he saw that and he plays e6. So because he can see it a lot because he's no bunny. No bunny wabbits. Anyway, so I played d4. I just thought, well, it's time to get all my pieces working. I played tricky moves and stuff like that. But now's the time to develop my pieces. He played knight hits queen. And I thought, well, okay, I could take the knight, but that gives him a tempo if I take the knight. Right, I could take the knight and play queen to h3, but I thought, why do that? Why do that? So I played queen here, and you notice his queen's got no squares. Now the beautiful thing about this is that we're exchanging the queens by force when we're already a piece up. So in other words, that negates his attack altogether because it just defuses. It takes like a big giant air balloon and you go pop and his whole attacking position just falls apart and the balloon falls out of the sky, right? Anyway, so he took the pawn. He thought, I've got to get some compensation. So I took the queen off and I thought, that's okay. He took the pawn and then I could move my knight back and hit his castle. But you know what I thought? I thought, why do that? When I could take a knight off and remove another piece in the position, right, and get rid of more pieces. He took with the castle, and I played knight back. Now, here we've got 2 knights. I've got 5 pawns, and he's got 6, so I'm just clearly a whole piece up. And he's got a pawn for his piece. He has got an attack, and this is a very sneaky move. I played rook to d1. My plan was simply to play king here and run away. And he played bishop there. So I thought, all right, I don't know what to do. Running short of time, I've got 51 seconds. I've been losing to this guy on time. So he checked me. I played king here. He took the rook, and then I took with the knight. And now, when he takes with the pawn, then I can kick his castle again with the knight. And that was the plan. Gain a bit of time. He moved his rook back. I played pawn here. Now's my time to chase his bishop, because I've got the two knights, remember. So he pushed the pawn, so I chased his bishop, and he moved it there. So I thought, well, all right, I'll play rook here. I want to come down here and attack his base pawns, right? That's his base pawn to his pawn chain. It's called a base pawn. Okay, so he played b5. I played rook to the 7th. I'm attacking his pawn. He pushed the pawn. He might be pre-moving here, trying to win on time, because I've got 28 seconds. So I played pawn there. He played king here. I played pawn here because I thought, oh, I'll throw him out a little bit here. I'm threatening a pawn. But if I play c4, I might be able to get c5 and upset his bishop. So he took with the pawn. I captured with the knight. Now he can't save this pawn by pushing it because I'll take his bishop for nothing. Right? He moved the king up, and then I took the pawn off. Notice now I've got 3 pawns. He's got 4. He pushed the pawn there. I took a pawn with check. Played king up. I played another knight check. So I'm into him, but I've only got 10 seconds left. I played king up. He played rook there. I played knight checks. He went back. I played pawn there. Not a good move in the position. That's because I'm short of time. Knight takes bishop check, wins easily. So I played pawn there. He played rook takes. I took with the king. He just knows I'm running out of time. So I started taking off as much as I could. And he just gave me a check and he won on time. So he was out to get me on the clock. But I thought I would show you that game because it was instructive from the opening perspective and how to how to defuse a mounting attack. Right, we defused his attack. Right, so we're going to go and have a look at another one of those games with the same player, Ego 10 from Slovenia. Very good player, and he's a friend of my Twitch streaming channel. So we're going to go back to archive. And that was the game there where we lost it on time. So then we had to pick up our act. We had to get our act together. And here we decided we would turn up the heat a little bit. And we played this game. Except we went from 86 to 80.9%. Actually, I won't show you that one. I'll jump straight into... What about this one? No, I won't show you that one. I won that one in 38 moves. I'll show you this one. I played at 93.5%. It was the last game that I played him. I was playing the black pieces. So E5, C5, D4, pawn takes, C3. Oh, he likes this variation. He likes to try to get the 2 pawns up here and get a bind in the position. And he's right too. So I played pawn there. It's a book move. He took with the bishop and I played E6. I should play knight C6 apparently. He played C5, question mark. So I should play bishop C5. That's a bad move. Now he's got knight there. I played knight there. Played knight to F3, exclamation mark, star move. Oh, no, not an exclamation mark, but a star move. So I played knight F6. I thought I'd just develop a knight and try to castle. He should play knight C3, but he castled first, which is okay. I played D5 because I was desperate. If I don't get D5 in, he plays knight C3. Well, I'm gone. So I thought, it's the wrong move. It's a big question mark. White's winning. So he took the pawn. It was more of a surprise in the game. than anything else, because he's still got 2 minutes and 50 seconds to put me away. He pushed the pawn there, and I thought, gee, that's a good move. I didn't like that. But pawn takes pawn was also a good move. I played knight there, and I thought, well, I'm going to try to complicate the position. And he played rook e1. So I played bishop f5. Not the best move. Bishop b4 was the best move, as indicated by the chess engine. Anyway, he played knight there, and I thought, oh, this gives me a chance. What's wrong with that move? It doesn't look natural. So I'm going to leave you in this position for 10 seconds, and you're going to show me what move that you think should be played in this position. And we are dedicating this stream to my friend in Hong Kong who donated to my channel, to my YouTube channel, and also, also as a Christmas gift to me. But his friendship means more than anything else to me. So I just want to, at Christmas time, think of those people in Hong Kong who've been under a lot of strain over the last so many years, and they're all doing it tough, and we've been doing it tough in Australia too, not as hard as they have been, but our thoughts go out to the people of Hong Kong. Okay, so in this position, have you seen the move? Remember, on my channel, one thing that Grandmaster Teddy and I always say, what do we say, Teddy? Tell them in Hong Kong what we always say, Teddy.
Well, Johnny, you always say examine all checks and examine all captures. It's very important to look for checks and captures because they can determine the outcome of the game straight away, Johnny.
Thank you, Teddy. Thank you. Thank you for that. See, Grandmaster Teddy is always here, and he knows that knight takes pawn is a capture, and it's a double exclamation mark, Teddy, given to us by the chess engine.
Oh, I like a double exclamation mark, Johnny.
I'm sure you do, Ted. Okay, well, now we're attacking the queen and the bishop. So he must save the queen. Well, he can't move the queen away because otherwise he'd lose the bishop for nothing. So he must capture with the king. Correct, Ted? Right. And now that leaves us to take his bishop. And we've solved our opening problems. Black has got 6 pawns and white's got 3, 4, 5 pawns. Okay? All right then. Now our opponent decides, well, it's time to try to open up the black king. And normally this would be a good idea. It would normally be a very good idea. However, in this position, Teddy, what do we do?
Well, Johnny, you look for checks. Examine all checks and captures. Can you see a check, Johnny? Can you see a check?
I can, Teddy. I can see a check. Right, so I played bishop checks, Ted. Did you like that one, Teddy?
Oh, Johnny, that's the first move I thought of. It's a really good move.
Thank you, Teddy. That puts the king on notice. And the king, the bishop, he can't interpose or move anything in between the check and the king. And he can't go backwards because this bishop's covering the square. And he can't go back here because he's still in check. So he doesn't want to move castle here because he could lose his castle. So he decided that in his infinite wisdom, he would bring his king up there to G3, and the engine says that's a star move and the best move. So what move did we play here, Ted? Well, we gave him another check. The engine says you should check him with the bishop. Right? That's what the engine says. Check him with the bishop, Johnny. Okay, so we should check him with the bishop, but we didn't. We checked him with the queen. And he moves over there. Well, it's a problem. It's a problem. It's a star move, but it's the best move. So what did we do? We gave him a check. We moved our bishop back, and we gave him a check, right? Because his king is a bit vulnerable there. And then he pushed a pawn up there. So we thought, well, got to move the bishop somewhere, so we might as well take this pawn off. And now when we look at the position, Teddy, when the smoke is cleared, as they say, when the smoke is cleared, what have we got, Ted?
Well, Johnny, you've got, he's only got 3 pawns, and you've got 6 pawns, and his king looks like a load of crap, Johnny, a load of crap, absolute crap.
Teddy, that's a bit rough. That's a bit rough talking about our dear friend Ego, but he did beat us, didn't he, Teddy? So anyway, so he played knight to b3. He wanted to remove one of my bishops. It's with then I played h5, and that threatens pawn takes pawn double check. So this is how to continue your attack, right? Okay, and I think at this position, he played the king back. I took the pawn off. Now we're threatening the knight again. He hasn't got time to take this bishop because he'll lose this knight with check. It's called a Schwitzenzug, or an in-between move. And because it's with check, we can recapture the other knight, and then we've just got too much material. So what did he do, Ted? Well, he played knight there. And we announced checkmate in 2 moves. There are 2 checkmates in 2 moves. Can you see the 2 checkmates in 2 moves? The 2 checkmates in 2 moves. Can you see them? Yeah, Teddy? Can you see them, Teddy? Teddy? I shouldn't ask you. You're a grandmaster. Teddy is a grandmaster. He was trained by my friend in Hong Kong. Weren't you, Teddy? You were trained by our friend in Hong Kong. Yeah. He was Teddy's trainer. Did he teach you? What's that? He taught you martial arts as well. And he also taught Bruce Lee. Well, there you go. We heard it here first. Our friend in Hong Kong that donated in PayPal to the channel and gave us an early Christmas present. Well, he apparently trained Grandmaster Teddy in chess, and he also trained Bruce Lee in martial arts. Now, we know from the life story of Bruce Lee that in actual fact that he did learn martial arts in Hong Kong. So something to be said about that. Anyway, I'm going to show you what took place. Queen takes pawn check, king here, and rook checkmates. So if you saw that checkmate, you've done very well. But if you also saw the second checkmate, right, there's another checkmate in this position, and it goes like this. Oops, wrong one. It goes rook takes pawn check, and there's only one square, right? And rook checkmates. There we go, yeah. So the checkmate could have still have been affected on the same square, and it would have been a very pretty rook checkmate. There we go. I'm going to end my stream on that note. I hope you enjoyed those games. They're only played this morning on my Twitch TV stream. And if you'd like to join Teddy and me and Goofy, right? Goofy always comes in. Goofy always says, what does Goofy say, Teddy?
Well, Goofy always says, don't make goofy moves.
That's right, Teddy. That's exactly what he says. Hold on. You tell him, Goofy.
Oh, don't make goofy moves.
No goofy moves from Goofy. Anyway, I'm going to end my stream. If you like the stream, you like the material, just give a thumbs up on the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It's free to subscribe. And then you'll get notifications of any more videos as they arrive, okay? So it's goodbye from me and Teddy and Goofy. And give a little wave to our friend in Hong Kong that made this video possible. And we would like to see you on Twitch TV, especially on a Australian Eastern Standard Time on a Wednesday at about 8:30 or 9 a.m. when we play the Super Grandmasters. And last week, Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru played. We never got to play one of those guys, but we're hoping, we'll keep trying until one day we do, okay? So it's bye from me, bye from Teddy, and bye from Goofy, and we'll see you later, okay? And God bless your families. It's at this time of the year that we all celebrate Christmas, and we want to say God bless your families, okay?